What's up, YouTube? This week we're going to show you guys how to get acrylic, plastic, resin, Alumilite, anything that's plastic-like on a pen, decoration, anything. If you're running it on a lathe, hand sanding, whatever. I'm using the lathe. You can do all of this by hand. I'm going to show you how I get the best results to get your resin crystal clear every time. And when I say resin, just for clarification, I'm referring to acrylic, Alumilite, anything that is a plastic-like consistency when it's done. So let's get to the lathe. All right, folks, so like I said before, we're going to be doing a resin polishing. This is everything we need. I got sandpaper from 120 to 1000 grit. I do it with, this is just water with some other stuff that I've been working on before. And then, these pads are called, from a company called Micro Mesh. They go up to 12,000 grit, which is so fine you can't even feel it, but they still actually will remove material. Just not as much or not as aggressively. So here we've got one of the fountain pens I was working on a recent live stream. Don't know when this is going out, so it's one of my Thursday night attempts to get people to join. So we're going to start with just the regular old sandpaper. And I will be keeping this. It's got a couple of magnets on the back there. I just stick it straight on the lathe. And then I take the sanding pads, squeeze most of the water out, and I'll set them right on top of the pads. Sorry you guys can't see that, but I don't want to make you guys sick to keep moving stuff around. So to start with the actual sanding process, I usually run about 1500 to 1800 RPM. So that's 14. Let's bump it up a little bit. We're at 1685. And then I just keep a spray bottle with some water in it. And then I just start by simply sanding these down. You just want to make sure the first grit's the most aggressive. You just want to make sure that you get everything off. And then what I'll do with the sand pad, spray water directly on it, and it'll knock off everything that's on it. Then I just drop it in the water, because I find when they're pre-soaked, they work a lot better. I do it wet because it does one of two things, and that's all I'm doing off camera, so just so you guys can see it. And then I'll also pre-spray to make sure it stays nice and wet, and occasionally just wet that down. The reason I like to wet sand resin, it doesn't take material off quite as fast as dry, but I can get an entire stack of pens done of like 20 or 30 with one set of sanding pads. That water helps everything not want to stick. This is the same pad. If you get a lot, I'll clean it off part way through. Now we're moving up to 400. But yeah, anyway, that water really helps the sand or the dust not get buried into the sandpaper and burn it in. It keeps all the temperatures down. It minimizes how much dust gets in the air. And yeah, so that's why I do pretty much all of my resin sanding. Pretty much, I do it all wet sanded. The biggest thing for me is the temperature and the lack of dust. And then when you're going through the sanding pads, the theory on sandpaper. So if you start at 120 like I do, you don't go past 240, because you never more than double the number on the sandpaper. So like for me and the sanding packs I buy, it goes 60, 120, 180, 240, 400, 600, 800, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. For resins and plastics, I pull the 2 and 3,000 and the 60 grit because I generally don't need it, because the resin alone, or acrylic in this case, it all pretty much comes into, or it stays together pretty well. Some woods I actually will do the final shaping by sanding, that's when I get into the 60 grits, and wood I will use up to 3,000. The reason I don't with this, or with plastics, because of our micro mesh pads, which is where we're up to, because I just finished the 1,000 grit, and the numbers on there you can see is the actual grits of the individual sanding pads. So it takes an additional 10 steps in order to get everything as smooth as I like. And when I hit these pads, I just bumped it up to the 1800 setting, and that's 1800 RPM. Because these pads don't take off a whole lot, and I find a little extra speed really helps knock them out a little bit quicker, and I think it looks a little nicer. And just like the sanding discs, I'm just spray it, pop it in the slot, grab the next one, and I'm not even using a full spray. I'm just barely pulling this trigger on the spray bottle. And then just make sure you're getting down, hitting the bushings to make sure that everything is hit, because by the bushings a lot of times is where you'll get scratch marks left over. Because all you're doing when you're sanding is removing material by basically scraping it away with really little spots and points on there, just like sand would. So the trick is you want to get all of the old scratches from the grit before off before you go to the next one. Clear resin is where it'll absolutely make the biggest difference, but it's also the hardest to get smooth. With this not being clear and knowing full well after a couple of years of being in somebody's pocket, it's probably going to show a bunch of scratch marks anyway. I won't necessarily do everything it takes to make it glass smooth. I mean, it's a pen. They're going to get used. They're going to get marks. Something like a piece of resin art, yeah, that's not going to get handled very much. That needs to be as clear and smooth as I can possibly make it. And this is our last one of the buffing. I know in some videos I'll show where I'll use Yorkshire grit. However, when I'm doing big production batches, I've found that for the time it takes, it doesn't actually add enough for me. So I've just been going straight to Hutt's Ultra Gloss. So we're done with this. So when I'm doing my sanding, I'm usually sitting on a stool. So I'll hang my bottle on there. I move the that tray with all my micro mesh and sandpaper off to the side, because I do have on that wall a steel section of pegboard. I actually have two. I want to get a third and pull the little one off, have two big ones, and then add in the small one to the table next to me, because it honestly would be great to have something on both sides. But then we come to the Hutt's Ultra Gloss. So when you do this, you just grab a little bit. That's about all you need. Put it on real light. Once you see it's been all covered over, you just work it in. And you can see how everything moves around with it. So at this point, I always like to come in and just look to see if there's any marks at all that I missed. Under this light, you will see them. So it is a little thin in the middle there. Unfortunately, even with acrylic, especially if it has any translucence, if you get it too thin, that brush shows. So there's not much I can do about that. But then from there, I need to fold up another paper towel. It's not completely necessary, but I still like to put a light coat of beeswax on everything. And to work that in, full speed, all 3,564 RPM that this lathe is capable of producing. And I just like to rub it in. Just work it in back and forth a little bit. That got really hot. Just hit all that. And then finally, I grabbed a different bottle so it wasn't set up right. Just a real light spritz of water. And basically just wipe it down real quick. Any extra wax or the Huts Ultra Gloss, that's all it takes to wipe it off. That's all set, and that's ready to go inside for final assembly. All right. So whether you're doing something that's translucent, where you're not going to be able to hide anything, just a regular piece of acrylic, it's really hard to see, a regular piece of acrylic, or even, I grabbed the wrong piece, or even something custom like this piece from Crosscut Creations, which is Alumilite, which is a type of resin. That's how I polish everything up, how I get my sheen on everything. If it's any type of plastic, that's what we do. I do have a couple other types of plastic polish as well. I don't even know why one of the companies I order from sent this to me, because I did not order it. But this one-step plastic polish, it's good stuff. I've used it twice. I do like the results, but my Hut is a lot older, so I'm knocking that out first, because that bottle I picked up 7/17 of 2025. And the reason I know that, I write the dates on them when I open them. So I bought this before that. And before you use anything, you know, always just make sure you give it a good shake. I've been out here for a while and was like, oh yeah, I need to do this. So that's why I figured I'd throw it together real quick. So with that, I will say, cat in the hat, dat be dat. Y'all keep fun, or have fun, stay safe, keep making, and show me some pens, because I like seeing other people's stuff. Catch you later.